Hello friends, in today's video, let us learn about various provisions of the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. So this act was passed in 1981. This is a central act passed by the Parliament. So acts can be passed either by the Parliament or by the state government. The central acts are passed by the Parliament, and there are specific topics on which the Parliament could pass legislations, and state can pass acts or legislations on certain other topics. So they are clearly divided in the Indian Constitution itself. So Air Act is a central act passed in 1981, and it provides for the prevention and control of air pollution in India. Specifically, this act provides for two establishments: Central Pollution Control Board for air pollution and the State Board of Prevention and Control of Air Pollution. So what are the objectives of this act? This act specifically aims at preventing and controlling air pollution. As the name of the act suggests, it looks into various ways of preventing air pollution. And this act provides for the establishment of central and state boards with a view to implement the act. The Central Board of Prevention and Control of Air Pollution as well as the State Board for Prevention and Control of Air Pollution are being established based on this act. So that is the second objective of this act. And the third objective is to provide powers to these boards, to confer on the boards the powers to implement the provisions of the act and assign to the boards functions related to the act. So that is the third objective of this act. So broadly, all the objectives of the act are aimed at preventing and controlling air pollution. Now the salient features of the act defines air pollution as the presence in the atmosphere of any air pollutant. And the act also defines air pollutant as any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in the atmosphere in such a concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to human beings or other living creatures or plant or property or environment. So that is a very long definition. So you can just summarize and learn just the meaning of air pollutant according to this act. And this act also established, as it was one of its objectives, this act establishes central and state boards for prevention and control of air pollution. Now let us look into what are the functions of the central board as well as the state board. First, the main functions of the central board is to improve the quality of air and to prevent, control or abate air pollution. And its first and foremost objective is to improve the quality of air and prevent air pollution. So its other functions are to advise central government with regard to the matters relating to air pollution. Then it will plan and execute certain nationwide programs for controlling air pollution. And since it is a central board, this board will try to coordinate the activities of the state and try to resolve disputes between them in matters relating to air pollution. And this central board will try to provide technical assistance and guidance to the state boards. Then it will try to plan nationwide program for the prevention and control of air pollution, as we have already mentioned. Then this board also lay down standards for the quality of air. So what quantities of certain pollutants are actually harmful to human beings or harmful to the environment, those standards are defined by the State Pollution Control Board of Air. Now this board will also try to collect and disseminate information in respect of matters relating to air pollution. So information sharing and keeping is one of the objective or one of the role of the central board. Then this board will try to establish or recognize laboratories to enable the central board to perform its functions. So it can establish labs at various parts of the country to work and prevent the air pollution. So as we have seen, all the functions of the central board are aimed at the main objective, that is controlling air pollution. So there are a handful of other objectives that are related to this, like coordinating various activities, then laying down standards, checking whether these standards are met, and so on. So various other functions are performed by central board with the central objective of keeping air pollution in control. Now the state board, which is also established by the Air Act of 1981, the role of the state board is to take measures to control air pollution at the state level. Just like the central board acts as the central level, at the national level, at each state level we have state boards which has the same functions. For example, the state board tries to implement comprehensive program for controlling of air pollution at the state level, and the state board advises the state government in matters relating to air pollution, whereas the central board advises the central government. And the state board tries to collect and disseminate information relating to air pollution, and the state board will try to collaborate with the central board in organizing training of persons, and the state board will try to organize mass education programs at the local levels, and the state board will try to inspect industrial plants and will give directions and steps to be taken for preventing air pollution, and it may also try to inspect air pollution control areas and will try to assess the quality of air. And finally, the state board will try to lay down, in consultation with the central board, the standards of emission of air pollutants into the atmosphere. So as you can see, the state board has the same function as the central board. So just one thing is different. The state board will be acting at the state level, and it has the same duties like advising the state government, collecting and disseminating information, then conducting various programs, checking whether qualities are met, setting certain benchmarks for air quality, and so on. So these are the functions and roles of central and state boards. These boards are established by the Air Act of 1981. Now this Air Act of 1981 also lay down a punishment process, a penalty for those who do not go along with the advices given in the Act. So the punishment is maximum up to a 3 months imprisonment and a fine of ₹10,000 or both can be given under this Act for anyone who violates the criterion of this Act. Now the central and state boards established under the Air Act also has certain powers to execute its functions. So these boards have the power to declare air pollution control areas. So certain areas will be declared as air pollution control areas. There the pollution has to be controlled in a more stringent manner, and this Act provides the central and state government powers to give instructions for ensuring standards for emission from automobiles. So to what extent an automobile can emit certain gases, those standards are actually laid down by central and state boards, and they have the power to do so, and the power to restrict the use of certain industrial plants. Then they have the power to enter and inspect any places for the purpose of performing its functions. Then they have the power to obtain information, and finally they have the power to give directions to industries and various other parties. So these powers are actually some enabling mechanisms for the central and state boards to execute their functions, to run according to their rules and their roles. So that is about the central and state boards, as well as the various provisions of the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. I hope the various provisions are clear for you. Thank you.